Hi, I'm Irene Stewart Hartmann. I'm often called Renny and Renny. I write under the name Renny, Renny Hartmann, because my academic advisor in college always called me Renny. I'm not entirely sure why. Um, I was born locally in Lakewood in the hospital. My mother went to the hospital 1942. I am the same age as Casablanca, which came out in 1942. And that was the war, so I am a war baby from World War II. I don't remember the war, but I can remember being 4 or 5 years old, that we could not have outdoor Christmas lights. And that when the war was over and we could have outdoor Christmas lights, my father went up to Wanamassa and Deal to see the outside lights that the rich there had, which today you would just be able to see absolutely anywhere. And something like National Lampoon's Christmas, uh, which has every bulb that's ever been manufactured. But at that time, it was a really big deal. I can remember one had a Santa Claus and his sleigh and lights up on a roof. That was really, really outstanding. I started school in 1947. At that time, there were 5,000 people in Dover Township. Today, we're no longer Dover Township. We're Toms River Township because people confused us with the town of Dover in North Jersey. And I think there's almost probably 100,000 people here now, although the school system is finally decreasing. All the time that I taught in the Toms River school system, we had 18,500 students, and today they are under 17,000 students. And they are considering changing or closing some of the elementary schools, which would be a vast difference in the Toms River regional schools. I've been retired since 2004. I started teaching at Ocean County College in 2003. Before that, I briefly taught with a learning group. I was a consultant, and I taught a graduate education course through Caldwell College and the College of New Jersey in New Jersey. They were weekend courses, and I did them from 1999 to 2004 when I retired. And I write, and I published my own poetry book a few years ago. When I do my Russian novels, I will refer to one of my poems that is based on one of those Russian novels. I like to be part of Literary Gladiators today because I think it's absolutely fantastic and wonderful that Josh began this adventure, and that so many of his friends and people that he knows are involved in literature, in discussing, in criticizing, in being active readers, because I am so often upset with students who don't read. They don't read the instructions on handouts. If it's not entirely explained to them in tiny itty bitty detail, even though the instructions are there, they can't or don't read them. I think we are losing our ability to address literature because we are becoming all internet or Instagram or Snapchat or something of that does 170 pixels or novels or individual letters, and it doesn't even include an entire paragraph. I read everything. I read probably 2 to 3 novels a week, usually 250 to 350 pages of, I would call them rotten literature. I like the lawyer stories. I like the detective stories. I like materials such as they do Midsummer on television. I read all the Midsummer books. But I did start a couple of summers ago to actually force myself to go back and read real literature, which I have started to do in the summer, the big material. When I had novel in college, we read big novels. We read Tom Jones, we read Clarissa. We went to Moby Dick, which I have to admit I didn't read and have started twice, but now am definitely reading this coming summer in 2022. But a few years ago, I started with War and Peace. I had never read Tolstoy's War and Peace, At the same time, I went back and read 2 other Russian novels. So I'm very interested in a broad range. I like science fiction. I'm not much into fantasy, but I read Tolkien everything twice and very much followed the films of the Fellowship. So that's something that I'm very interested in. I think I would like to do a video maybe once a month. They'll be fairly short. I'm not going to make them monster elements, but just so that I can communicate and that other people can be in touch with me and see what's going on. I will do what I've been reading, mostly literary reading. I do force myself to do literary reading. I did Tolstoy's War and Peace. I did Hugo's Les Miserables. I reread the Brothers Karamazov and Dr. Zhivago. And I have a huge number of others to pick up. I'm happy to have been speaking with you, and goodbye for now.